If you go eat in a warung with 30K, you can have a full meal that is going to fill you up. But if you get distracted, you spend more money than in Europe. Because if you start going to beach clubs and you start to pop in bottles and whatever, but it's going to cost you just as much as I used to spend in Milano.
This is Christian Giacobbe, comedian, founder of the Bali Comedy Club, and all-around minister of bullies. In this episode, we talk about building a life in Bali.
I signed my contract, I quit my job, and it was like, here's 1 year salary, fuck off. And I was like, well, I'm moving to Bali then.
Chris's transformation through fasting.
I did 30 days water fast.
That's crazy.
Which some people don't understand, like it means only water. Like for 30 days, no food at all.
And controversial takes in comedy.
Because before everyone was woke,
Yep.
and now everyone is anti-woke. Which I am anti-woke, for full disclosure.
If you're not already following Christian, check him out at Chris Giacobbe Comedy. He's raw, uncensored, and brutally funny. And if you're new here, this is the Bali Bytes podcast, where we talk real freedom, financial, physical, and mental. No fluff, no bullshit. Let's get into it. I've seen you pop up on Instagram quite a bit. You're kind of well known. You do some comedy here, but you're from Italy, correct? Yeah.
Yes, I'm Italian, 100%.
I'm 100% Italian as well, but Italian American.
So you're not Italian?
Yeah. Well, my family is, but yeah, we let's say my grandparents were born in America, so it's like.
So you're not Italian at all?
Yeah.
That's it.
As I said, Chris, you're the comedian, so yeah. What got you from Italy to here? How'd you get to Bali?
Well, I was going through a divorce with my ex-wife, Russian, and so I decided that I wanted to change job. I wanted a job that would allow me to move away from Italy, because even before that, I'd lived in many different countries, and I found this amazing company, billion-dollar company, and they offered me a great job, and I accepted. And 2 days before starting, this was on a Saturday. On the Monday I was supposed to start, the vice president calls me and was like, we made a mistake. We don't have a job for you. I'm like, what do you mean? I signed my contract. I quit my job. And it was like, here's 1 year salary. Fuck off. And I was like, well, I'm moving to Bali then. And so I moved to Bali with a bag of cash. And the best part is that was in 2018. In 2020, billion-dollar company went bankrupt. So I would have lost everything. So it was meant to be.
Yeah. And maybe you don't want to answer this, but like coming here with, you said a boatload of cash? Like,
No, not a boatload of cash. I had some savings. Okay.
Yeah, you had some savings.
Well, actually, for the first 2 years in Bali, I just partied.
Yeah.
And I blew everything, most of the money I had. So then I was like, okay, I need to start doing
something. Now, a lot of people come here with like very little money, and then they're like trying to figure out what to do. What do you think is a good amount of money to come here with, if you're smart and you're not doing stupid shit? Yeah.
Well, I'm not, so that's the first problem. This is the thing. Bali, Indonesia in general, is very unique because you cannot have a regular job.
Yeah.
Like you're not allowed to just move to Bali and become a bartender or a waiter. So either you have a way to make money online, which now is more and more accessible to everybody, or you should have enough money to just maintain yourself for the rest of the time you want to spend in Bali, because otherwise in Bali, there's very little chances for you to make money if you're not starting your own business.
Yep. But if you were giving advice to someone who was just like, I want to come out to Bali, how much money would you suggest they at least have?
But that's the thing. Bali is one of the trickiest places when it comes to money. Because you can spend almost nothing. Like if you go eat in a warung with 30K, you can have a full meal that is going to fill you up. But if you get distracted, you spend more money than in Europe. Because if you start going to beach clubs and you start to pop in bottles and whatever, then it costs you, of course, it's not like Dubai money, but it's going to cost you just as much as I used to spend in Milano.
Yeah.
So it depends on your lifestyle. It depends if you're single. It depends if you're single and you're looking for someone. That's
yes.
And also depend, let's be honest, if you're a man or a woman.
Yep. Yeah. If you're a woman, you maybe get the guy to pay for a lot more. You know.
There's a lot of suckers out there.
Yep.
That there's I know a lot of girls that they use Tinder dates
For free meals.
exactly.
That happens everywhere. Yeah.
I remember, what was it, a few years ago? Do you remember when the Netflix did a series about the Tinder
Tinder swindler.
the Tinder
Yeah,
swindler,
exactly.
which was a guy that was dating women to get the money, and I was like, so
Genius.
one guy
Genius.
did it, and they did a whole series.
Yeah.
You go to Savaya every Saturday, every
every
girl
girl
does that. Like, it makes no sense.
Yeah. So, getting back to you now, did you like do comedy before, or
I did a little bit when I was younger, but then I really started in Bali. So in Bali, I was already teaching public speaking.
okay?
I was part of this organization, non-profit organization called Toastmasters, which has around 16,000 clubs all over the world. It's the biggest public speaking organization in the world. I was the president of 2 clubs here in Bali. And then one day someone told me, it's weird, like Bali is such an international island and there's no stand-up comedy in English at all. I was like, what do you mean? Now I looked it up and it wasn't. So I was like, all right, let's do it. I tried. First show we had 20 people. Second show we had 50. By the 5th show we had 200 people and a waiting list of another 50 to 100 people. And this was during the pandemic. So there was nothing else to do. Everyone wanted to watch the comedy on Friday. It was like the thing to do on Fridays. And then from that, it exploded. I got called from national TV in Indonesian. Then I performed in Australia. I started performing in other countries. It completely changed my life. That's why every time I have an interview, especially with the Indonesian outlets, I always say the same thing. I'm living the Indonesian dream. Because in Italy, I was a depressed and suicidal sales manager. And here I'm a comedian. I do content. I own business. I found the love of my life. I became a father. Like, everything for me happened in Indonesia.
Yeah. I think I now that you mention, I remember seeing one interview with you kind of recently maybe I saw it recently, but it might have been maybe a year ago or a little bit long ago. It was another guy who was doing interviews. Russian guy. Yeah. Yeah. I saw you mention something about that. It's interesting, the story behind that, how you got into comedy from, like, you hear a lot of comedians, they use their pain to, like, they push it into comedy. I think my family deals with stuff a lot more through comedy. Is that an Italian thing, you think? I know you said I wasn't real Italian, but
We like a little self-deprecating humor.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I think that if we talk about pure stand-up, you need a little bit of everything. So I hate one-trick ponies in stand-up. Like, you need self-deprecating, but you also need to be able to roast people. And you need to be able to do observational comedy, and you need to be able to do topic, because otherwise it becomes boring. At least performing it becomes boring, because if you're a stand-up comedian, sometimes you tell the same joke over. I have some jokes that I told them 1,000 times. So I need to find a way to still enjoy telling the same joke.
Yeah.
yeah. Can you tell us one now, or no? Is it one of these?
Then I'll have to charge you then.
Yeah. Or
To
charge
tell jokes.
Yeah. But where do you perform now?
So now I took a couple of step backs because I'm practicing and I'm putting together a show for the Fringe Festival in Perth. And now I do less shows also because I want to be less available in Bali. I do a lot of corporate shows now, more than regular shows, but I perform once a month in Atlas. We have a big show in Atlas. And then there's a new there's a new comedy club in Batu Bolong in Canggu called the Canggu Comedy Club. They have 3 to 4 shows a week. Every once in a while when I'm bored, I just pop in it and do a set there.
And I heard you speak a little Indonesian, right? Is it?
Just a little bit. Yeah. But even when I perform on national TV, I still do it in English.
Yeah. But you throw in a few...
Yeah, maybe
jokes,
the punchline or...
So is the audience mostly... What is it? What's the audience?
It depends where you perform, but even within Bali, it depends where you perform. Because if you perform in Canggu, and that's the beauty of it, that's the one thing I love the most about performing in Bali, there's like 15, 20 different nationalities in the audience. So you cannot do jokes that are too American, that are too Australian, that are too Russian. Otherwise, you're going to alienate most of the audience. So you have to cater to everybody. Now, if I do a show in Jakarta, I do show for mostly Indonesian people.
Yeah.
Obviously. And that's why so many people suffer when they come here in Bali. Of course, I know pretty much every single Australian comedian because they all come here on holiday. And I've had American, British comedian, people that did Netflix and HBO and stuff like that. Some of them struggle. First of all, there's a language barrier because, yes, you can have some native speakers, but then you're going to have the girl from Czech Republic that is going to understand 1 every 5 words you say. But she's still there to laugh. So it's your duty as a comedian to make her laugh.
When you're writing a joke for an Indonesian, what do they find funny? Yeah.
Well, Indonesian people really enjoy the angle of understanding the bullet point of view on very Indonesian topics. So when I do jokes for Indonesian audience, usually it's me being confused about what is happening. Because
can you give an example?
Yeah, of course, because there are things that, but it's the same with any country. If I go to the US, there are things that for you are normal that for me makes no sense at all. And it would be the same if you come to Italy. So when I come to Indonesia, I talk about their own specific food, which some of them makes no sense. Or for example, I talk about the way they cure themselves. For example, I don't know if you're aware of this. When you have the flu in Indonesia, they have this thing called kerokan, which is when with a coin, they scrape your back. And they think that by doing that, they cure you, which is insane to me.
Does it matter which coin? It's just any coin.
Any coin. And if you see the picture, there's this, like, they have huge, like, the redness all over their back.
I mean,
this is something that, so I find things that I don't understand about Indonesia, and I make jokes about that.
Maybe they're trying to drain the lymph nodes or something like that.
What I say about it is that, you know, I actually had and went and did it to try it.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It
I
worked.
was so shocked.
What were you trying to cure?
Flu.
The flu.
Or as they call it, the wind inside of you. They call it mazukangin, which means that you have the wind, the enter wind. The wind entered you. That's what they say. And I went with the coin and it went away, and that to me proves what they say about Indonesia.
Did you go to someone?
Yeah, I went.
You
didn't
try to do it.
Trust my wife with it. No, because it's on your back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
And that to me proves that what they say about Indonesia is true. That in this country you can fix any problem with money.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, clever one.
A bit risky, but
I see.
Yeah. Okay. So you were telling me that you have a special visa to be able to perform.
Yeah, of course.
So how does that work? Because I know they have such weird visa. You were explaining before. You can't just get a job here.
Yep.
You know, you can't just become a bartender. In fact, even I heard somebody was telling me that they got a restaurant. They opened a restaurant, and they can't even work in their own restaurant.
Because if you're the investor, you cannot work in your own company.
Yep.
But the visa situation is it changes a lot. Like recently, now they came out with the digital nomad visa. And of course, you have the business visa, you have your social visa. Some of the visa you can get in and out of the country. Some you have to stay.
Yep.
And I have a visa which is sponsored by an Indonesian company, which is in the media space. And so I am de facto a worker in Indonesia, and my is a performer visa, so I can obviously perform.
When did you switch over to, did you just start doing, because you said you came here and you started doing stand-up. Were you able to monetize that fast enough to make it worth getting that visa?
No, of course, at first it was an investment.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I said, okay, I want to be able to make money, you first have to make the visa, because if you first start making the money, then you're working illegally. Obviously.
Yeah. So it's tough because you don't know, will you be able to make enough money to support it?
And so before it was basically just doing karaoke. You know, if you do karaoke, it's not like you need a visa to be able to sing, you know?
Yep.
It was the same. I was just going up. Anyone could have gone up. It was an open mic, so everyone is welcome.
So you can do open mics. That's fine. As long as you're not getting paid for it.
That is generally understood as is fine. It also depends if it's a ticketed show or not, for example.
What if you were going in to do stand up, you weren't getting paid, but people had to pay to get in? You can't do that either. Then they think they're like, we don't believe you're not getting paid.
Exactly. That is complicated. That starts to become a little bit more complicated.
Yeah, it's so
and that's why I didn't want to have any problems. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna pay, so I'm gonna be good.
Because she's as I said, she's a musician, she's a performer. So again, like you said, we went to karaoke. She sings there. We were able to do a couple open mics to sing a song, but she wants to be able to perform. So that's why I was interested in hearing more.
Yeah, then you definitely
about
need
that.
a performer visa.
Performer visa. Yeah, I wonder how she could go about doing that. She would need to have paid gigs lined up. Otherwise, it's like, because how much was it for?
It depends from visa agent to visa agent, obviously. And if you go directly and you skip the visa agent, it's way more complicated. But of course, it's cheaper, just like with the visa on arrival. I cannot disclose how much I pay because I get a discount.
Oh.
Okay. That's
Nice. I should probably mention to the audience why my knees are.
It's because today is Halloween.
Yeah, I'm a mummy. That's what I was gonna do. I was gonna wrap my whole body, but I also mentioned, because this will come out probably a couple weeks later. But so just so you know, it is Halloween here. That's why Lila has her makeup on, and this isn't part of my Halloween costume. I fell off my bike like an idiot. But
and you guys didn't tell me I was supposed to come
dressed up. I almost mentioned it, but
did you? Oh,
I almost.
He mentally mentioned.
Oh, okay.
No, I said I meant to say, and I was like, he's not gonna care. Would you? Because
I have a 3-year-old. Of course, I have costumes. I don't.
Yeah. Have you ever gotten into a bike accident at all? Did you get the kiss of Bali, as I call it?
Actually, the first accident that I had was 2-3 months ago. For the first time, I fell by myself.
Well, that's what happened to me.
Because my helmet was broken. I changed it. And I tried to pull down the visor, but also the plastic thingy came down.
Oof.
And it blinded me. And so I managed to put it back up, and I was going on another bike, so I decided to jump off in order not to hit the other bike.
And what happened?
I just got a little scrapes. Yeah, I wasn't going fast. It was a...
Also, that was a peck of Bali.
Yeah,
that wasn't a French kiss.
I got a French kiss. I broke my toe. Yeah, it's and messed up my ankle, but I wasn't going fast. I was only going maybe.
Your days as a model are over.
Oh well, yeah, I won't be walking down the runway anytime soon. But yeah, I just want to be clear. I wasn't doing anything stupid on the bike. The front wheel slid out.
Usually when someone says that is because
they were doing
something so good on the bike. He was doing a wheelie. He was popping a wheelie, running away from the police.
So I posted a AI video of that. I was like, this is how and it was like me like doing a wheelie. Yeah, but no, sadly, literally just coming home from the gym, the front wheel, did I mention how it happened? The front wheel just literally slid right out from underneath me, just went right out. And the whole bike just went forward, down.
And of course, you were not wearing shoes.
I was wearing flip-flops because I was coming back from the gym.
Yeah.
And I was only going 100 meters home.
Oh, I thought you were going 100 miles. I was only going
100 meters with my flip-flops. So my foot went right underneath the bike, slid across the ground. And
yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, it was bad. Yeah, sucked. But speaking of the gym, you recently, I saw some transformational pictures. You did like a full fast for like...
Yeah, well, I already regained some of it.
But you're looking good, yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I did 30 days water fast.
That's crazy.
Which some people don't understand. Like, it means only water. For 30 days, no food at all.
That's... No.
So
that was the most difficult thing I've ever done.
Yeah, I was going to say too, a lot of it becomes like a mental challenge as well.
Oh,
So
90%.
yeah.
I would say 90%. The interesting thing, like I was expecting, because some people say, oh, it's almost like a spiritual. It was.
No.
Nope. Actually, it's the opposite. The biggest change I noticed during the fast, I was so much more aggressive,
Yeah.
and my patience was paper thin.
No, could you imagine me?
No.
But I had to tell my wife, because I'm already a pretty passionate guy. I'm a real Italian, like you, and so what happened is that I told her, I was like, baby, I'm going through this. I need you to support me. I'm gonna be an asshole for a month, but just do it because you love me. And she supported. And every time I was like, and she was like, it's fine. And I wouldn't be able to do it without her support. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But so what made you start doing it?
I did it. So I love doing hard things. And before that, the longest fast I've ever done was 200 hours, which is 8.5 days. And I have a very good friend of mine. He's also a very good stand-up comedian that came back from Bali, and he was 20 kilos, 15 kilos slimmer.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what did you do for that? And he's this big Russian rugby guy. So I didn't eat for 1 month. I was like, what? Is that even possible? I was like, yes, you pussy, you cannot do it. I was like, oh, I cannot do it. And then I did it. Yeah, if you want me to do something, just say I cannot do it, and I can't help it myself. That's probably how I'm gonna end up, like, I don't know, going fellatio or something. It's like, oh, you're not gonna do that. I'm gonna give you.
I would have to want to do it in the first place, but then if it adds fuel for me. But I wouldn't do something I didn't want to do in the first place.
I'm that dumb. I definitely would.
But what was your diet like before that?
Oh, I have terrible. First of all, I'm Italian.
Yeah.
So just carbs on top of carbs.
Yeah.
Because then again, because you know how it is, Bali, everyone is fit, everyone has six-pack. First of all, it's easy to be fit if you're Australian or Russian because your food fucking sucks. Like I'm Italian, like I know how to eat well. It's very difficult for an Italian to be fit. And but the problem is that I am a comfort eater, which means that I eat when I'm stressed or under pressure, and I'm a discomfort
Bored
eater.
too sometimes.
Yeah, so I eat also to celebrate.
Yeah.
So
Every time.
and even now, like I finished 30 days without eating, I thought in my mind, okay, my relationship with food is gonna change.
No.
Absolutely not. Same shit. I can't tell myself. So now my goal is, because to me, not eating is easier than eating smaller portions.
Mm-hmm.
Now what I'm doing is Monday and Tuesday I just don't eat anything.
Yeah, my mom does that. Mm-hmm.
What's your mom? Your mom's doing?
Yeah, she's doing a 3-3-6. So it's basically like 3 days fasting, then 3 days carnivore diet, and then 6 days fasting.
Oh, 6 fast. Oh,
so you do 3 days fasting, 3 days carnivore, and then
that's
6 days.
Because you're carnivore, obviously.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what the.
Yes.
What do you think of the carnivore diet?
I love it. Like
The thing is with the carnivore, because a lot of people.
It's the carbs that I'm.
Yeah, because that's it. A lot of people are like, "Oh, the carnivore diet's terrible for you," but it's because they're thinking, "Oh, you eat a hamburger with the bun or hot dog."
So that's
Yeah.
No, but this is also the thing. Obviously, I'm the furthest from an expert that there is in Bali. In Bali, everyone is a food expert, but I have friends that are carnivore and are super fit. I have friends that are vegan and are super fit.
Yeah.
I have friends that only do keto. I have friends that do paleo. To me, as long as you eat, because I know what do I have to eat to be fit.
Yeah.
That's why the diet for me is like not necessarily the carnivore diet, because that's a completely change of lifestyle.
Oh,
just like the vegan is a change of lifestyle.
Yep.
But the people that say, oh no, you have to get this diet and count bro, I know that if I eat more salad and less dessert, I'm gonna be fitter. I already know what I have to do. It's doing it that is difficult.
Exactly.
You just went 30 days without eating anything. So
Yeah, exactly.
but can you do 6 months with just not eating the junk?
Yeah, but it's not exciting.
It's not. Yes,
Yeah.
it's also part. It is a mental thing a lot of the times too, and it's also like when you grow up Italian, you grow up even Brazilian. All of a sudden, it's surrounded by food. The culture is food. Everything is.
Yeah, I think
You're sad,
every culture
you
is.
eat. You're angry, you eat.
And I'm always
You're
angry. I'm
tired,
Italian.
you eat.
But this is also the thing. I've been taught by my family that I have to finish the plate.
Yeah.
If I have a plate in front of me, it's not physically painful for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is this. The problem is that now I have a wife.
Yeah.
And so she doesn't finish her plate, so I have to finish my plate on her plate. And I have a 3-year-old son, so we go outside. We get him what? I don't know, fish and chips or whatever. Eat one chip, and it's like, no, papa. And so I eat 3 times as much.
So you're eating his stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the only time where I was truly fit is when I was single. I was, trying to get some ass.
Yeah, that's the thing. Women, they trying to get them, you get fit. Once you have them, you start. Although now,
Hey.
I have to. She's got me going carnivore right now. I've been two weeks.
Carnivore is super interesting. I would love to try as well.
I have a love-hate relationship with it because I liked it for a couple of days, and now I'm 2 weeks in. I'm like, I kind of want to get a taco tonight. It's kind of getting boring. I want some.
But that's not. You need to change. You need to change textures. You need to change spices. You need to change flavor.
Can you use the spices though?
You can use spices. You can.
Okay.
So, and also when people get bored, it's like oftentimes they eat kind of like the same thing over and over again. Like if you just eat beef patties all the time, you're going to get bored. Then you switch it up with oysters, switch it up with seafood, switch it up with eggs.
Plus, this week and a half that I've been in, we haven't been able to go anywhere.
Exactly.
So yeah.
So you're just bored of her.
It's
That's what you're saying.
Well,
1 week. That actually is true. Like during COVID time, for example, so many couples like.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing pretty good. There's a couple of.
How long have you guys been together?
like a year and August, November, a year and 3 months.
All right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Doing pretty good now, I guess. Yeah.
And so you are American? Where are you from?
Canada.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
But she's Brazilian, but not a real Brazilian because she's born in
My
Canada.
mom is Brazilian and my dad's Mexican.
Okay, well, that's already close. If you're second generation, it's kind of okay for you to say.
Yeah.
Like, for example, my son is going to be super confused because born and raised in Indonesia, father is Italian, mother is South African. He's like, what is he?
Yeah.
Really South
I'm
Africa.
not.
Yeah.
I'm not.
It's like it's 3 different continents, not even 3 different countries.
And you met her here?
Yes, it was our last day of holiday.
Really?
Was
You
our
let her to stay.
No, well, almost. So it was our last day of holiday. We met at Blacksmith's in Batblanc,
Yeah. That's my favorite spot.
owned by Italians.
Really? Oh, yeah. Because they had,
food.
we call, but they had Zeppeli. What we would call
Zeppeli.
Yeah. And I was like, I've never seen this. And even in Los Angeles, because I live in Los Angeles, I travel on St. Joseph's Day. Do you guys do that on St. Joseph's Day? Growing up, we always did.
I think that's more like Southern.
My family's all Southern Italian, and I grew up in Rhode Island, where it's all Southern Italians.
And you say mozz instead of mozzarella.
Yeah, probably. But I saw they had it, and I was like, "Oh the heck! I had never see this even in Los
Oh,
Angeles."
it's a great place.
Yeah.
And so I met her, and then the day after, I drove her to the airport because she was leaving. Flight canceled because of COVID. She had no place to stay, so I was very generous and said, you can stay with me. It's okay. She stayed with me day after, so we spent 48 hours together. Drove her to the airport again. She catches the flight, and as she's on the flight, I'm like, fuck, I made a mistake. I should have let her go. And we start talking on Zoom because as she was flying, everything got closed. All the borders got closed as she was flying back home. And so after a week that she was in quarantine, I was like, leave your family, leave your friends, leave your job, just move to Bali. I think I said, let's write the most romantic love story ever written. I was so full of
That's
shit.
very Italian.
It was. But it took her 6 months then to come back to Bali because everything was closed.
Yeah.
So you did long distance.
Yeah, Zoom. And one thing that super weird happened in South Africa during COVID is that they made cigarettes and alcohol illegal
Here.
in South Africa.
Oh, it's okay.
Because they were like, people are going to abuse it, so...
That's interesting.
But they were.
They were.
They were.
Yeah, but
Everybody
imagine,
was,
if you're a heavy smoker and you are home and you cannot even smoke, you're going to lose your mind.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I definitely started boozing it up, as many people.
To be fair, Bali, of course, it was awful for tourism and Bali realized, but Bali was probably the best place to be during the pandemic. First of all, you realize how much space is important because I was lucky. I had a villa with a pool, and even the quarantine was very short.
Yeah,
in
what
Bali.
was it like in Bali? Because it's
You had the whole island for yourself.
yeah.
But even during the very short quarantine, like one thing is to stay in a villa with a pool
Yeah.
and a big garden. I had friends in Milano that lives in a one-bedroom apartment and they cannot even look at the sky from their window because they have a big building in front of them. That is much more depressing. You know?
Oh, yes.
Like your environment and your house, because especially if you have a regular job, you don't even spend that much time in your house. So because you wake up, you go to work, then you might go to the gym or you go have a drink, then you come back and sleep. So you basically just sleep at home. And so you don't even care that much how big or small is your house. But during the pandemic, it was... And Italy was one of the countries that was hit the most.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
Because Italians are very stupid. That's the reason. No, you know what happened? That we are so dumb in Italy. So this is what happened. So the region that got hit the most at the beginning is called Lombardia, which is the region where Milano is, my region. And Milano is like the New York of Italy. So everyone goes to work there. And then the governor said, okay, on this day, we're going to close all the pubs and bars. And then on these days, we're going to stop all the trains. So what did the people do? Until the day before, everyone went partying. So they all spread it together between themselves. And then the day before they closed the train, they all went back to their hometown, living with Nonna, which was 85-year-old. Then all the Nonna started dying.
That's crazy. Do you want to look through some of the questions?
Yeah, for sure. I remember during COVID, there was I was in Toronto.
Yeah,
During
COVID is not real anyway.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say.
Well,
not gonna
definitely
go
doesn't
down
come from
into
a bat.
Into the
Definitely doesn't come from a
conspiracy
bat.
When I first heard that, I was like, "This is bullshit."
I mean, think about it. Like, it's crazy to think that the COVID virus came from the same city where the COVID lab of Wuhan is, and it's not from the COVID lab.
And then if you mention anything about that, they were like, "Oh, you're taking off the internet. You're taking off the internet."
I mean, so sorry if I'm taking you off.
No,
I mean, I was just about
You're
to
gonna cut
say,
this part.
when we put this on Reels, they're gonna put that, the false information. thing.
well, not now. Now it's like it's common knowledge. Now they can't.
Well, it's getting better because now Zuckerberg is getting out of the woke.
Yeah, because he's trying to get the money from Trump. Yeah. No, but saying COVID came from a bat is like saying from a straight face that girls on OnlyFans do are content creators. You're not a content creator. We all know what you are, just like we all know we're COVID.
Well, it is content. It's just
Or like an influencer. Like, yeah, you're not. That's not.
I think Zuck. Maybe it was because he started doing MMA and he
I think he started doing MMA because he wanted to go on the good side of the Republicans.
Then get on Joe Rogan and
Of course, he became a bro.
Yeah.
Before he was getting paid, he was censoring because he was getting the money. Then he saw that he was shifting the other way, and all of a sudden, he's not a reptilian robot anymore. Now he's a bro. He has long hair.
Yeah, I think it was he started getting testosterone pumping through the veins and started thinking.
Are you sure you live in California? Because you guys are.
I left California. I couldn't stand that place. Yeah.
I heard a lot of it. A lot of people.
What do you? We like to do a few controversial questions.
So on this topic,
Go. The earth is flat.
that's
funny. We're hanging out with this guy's Max. Maybe you're watching Max Everlay. He's a pro pool player. Hey, we loved hanging out with him. He's one of us. And then he mentioned that he's like, oh, I'm a flat earther. And I'm like,
That's a bit much.
a little bit too. I was like, but yeah.
You should have asked.
I like where your head's at, but yeah.
Like one of the conspiracies, I think the problem with conspiracies is that everything goes under the same umbrella. Mm-hmm. So things that actually make sense are paired with things that are completely batshit insane.
I think that's on purpose.
Exactly. They overflow you with information. So
they're like, wait, he's onto something. Well, he's onto something.
Yeah.
He's with the flat earthers.
Exactly. So it's like, how is it possible that Tower 7 fell by itself? And they're like, oh, you don't believe in dinosaurs. It's like, no, there's two different things,
Got it. Yep. 100%. 100%.
Yes.
So on this topic, is woke culture killing comedy?
Well, now it's the opposite. Now everyone is writing comedy. Like, it completely swung the other way.
Yeah.
And now it's less fun. So because before everyone was woke.
Yep.
And now everyone is anti-woke, which I am anti-woke, for full disclosure. But now anti-woke joke are kind of becoming a little bit more boring because everyone is doing anti-woke joke. Just like when everyone was doing woke jokes.
Yeah.
Like now the mainstream, because now who are the most successful? Now is the Kill Tony and the Shane Gillis, and they're all anti-woke.
Oh, yeah.
Like now the Austin, which is the new capital of stand-up, because Joe Rogan and his new club, The Mothership, now is leading the way, and the leading the way is heavily leaning Republican, absolutely.
You think it's leaning Republican or just leaning anti-woke or right or?
Well, I think it started first with leaning Republican because everyone was supporting Donald Trump. Now, again, I'm not American, so this is just my outside perspective. I think also many people were leaning towards Trump, not necessarily because they wanted Trump, but because they didn't want the alternative. And that now is complicated because many people expected different policies for Trump. Honestly, I don't really care about the economic policy. The policy that I care is if you say you're America first, and then me as a comedian, I can go to the U.S., I can make fun of the U.S. as much as I want. I cannot mention Israel. That's a bit weird. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so many people from the right, I'm like, wait a minute, like this is something that doesn't add up, And that's why now there's almost like a third party, which is the woke makes no sense, the full woke, but also this thing that both parties are doing, which is everyone has to be okay with the genocide, and if not, both on the right, on the left, that's also a problem that many people are, and so they're distancing themselves from any politics, really.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you what your thoughts on
Free Palestine, all of
what? No, the Trump. Like, what's your thoughts on him as a person or a leader?
Well, first of all, he's a very interesting character. He's good for stand-up comedians, obviously.
Yeah.
The thing I liked about Trump, which I think is the thing that made him... First of all, obviously, he's a very polarizing... You have to give credit where credit is due. Obviously, he's a very polarizing figure. Obviously, he's a very charismatic figure.
Some people can't do that, though, the giving credit where credit's due.
Absolutely.
My dad is one of them. I mentioned him a few times, but...
But like, for example, Newsom is a very charismatic person.
Yeah.
Like, you can disagree with the policies, but... Hell, Hitler was very charismatic. Like, it doesn't matter if you're a good person or a horrible person, right? The thing, though, is that people saw in Trump, he's different.
Yep.
Which is what was attracting. Because American people, just like every other nation, every population is sick to get just fucked from every politician. Because it's always like this in every country. You got the guy with the right, he does a very bad job, then you go to the left, does a very bad job, so you go back to the right. It's always the same. Mm-hmm. And what changes? Nothing. Like at the end, you start distancing yourself for politics because you understand they're just keeping us distracted. They're just doing the same thing. Yeah, there's the 1% that changes, but at the end is we don't care about the people. We care about the super rich. We're all bots.
Yep.
It doesn't matter what we do.
they say that the left and the right are the same wing or wing of the same.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the deep state, but this is what also Trump was talking about. Oh, we're going to go to the deep state. But then, what about the Epstein files? Like we said, we have the Epstein file. The left is...
Who you said was doing this.
The puppet master, yeah.
Somebody of Israel. That's what we think. And I think, again, I don't want to get too much into that because I don't want to ruffle the wrong feathers, but I think they do have too much control.
Oh, absolutely. That they're super powerful.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's the thing is that I hate is that there's something that's so obvious, and they try to spin the narrative like what? Like no, like this is so obvious what's going on. How can you try to deny it in front? At least come out. At least say it out loud and say, listen. This is not a real democracy. We're going to do whatever we want. Why? Because we have the power. And you guys are going to be quiet. I will respect it more.
What I don't like is that if you were to say, oh, I don't like Trump, or I don't like what Trump's doing, or I don't like what America's doing here, or America's doing there, people are like, yeah, I can see that. I understand that. What they don't do is, oh, you're anti-Americans. You hate Americans, right? But that's what.
But that's a different.
Well, yeah. But what the opposite is, if you say, "Oh, Israel has their hands in this. They're doing that. They're being shady there. They're doing this." Like, "Oh, you're anti-Semitic."
Yeah,
like, what? But that I think is another way.
That's definitely a ploy.
Yeah.
Of course, but because that's the only way to stop the conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Which is you cannot say nothing about trans because then you're transphobic. It's the same thing.
Yeah. Exactly.
But the problem is also, again, in many countries, is that even if you had good intention, which politicians do not, it's very difficult to govern because the duality of politics is also like, doesn't matter which idea you have, if you're not on my political party, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And there must be some ideas from Democrats that make sense and from Republicans that make sense. It's not like one party has only right ideas and one party has only wrong ideas.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Because also most people are actually in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I agree.
Which is kind of why I liked because I voted for Trump, and it was only because he brought on
Tulsi Gabbard.
Tulsi. Yep. And I was like, okay, these guys are ex-Democrats that
that was very smart on his part. Absolutely.
And so I was with that. But again, and he was going to release the Epstein files, things like that. And now he's like, okay, not doing that.
Exactly. And that's why many Republicans started to lose faith. The Epstein file, the Israel stuff. And when we were like, oh, we thought you were going to do, you promised us stuff, and now you're not doing that.
I think when it comes to that, I think there's too many people that are around him on both sides that are involved, and people within the CIA and
but he was supposed to be a disruptor.
I think that he was going to, and then they were all like, "Bro, you can't. The whole thing will fall apart."
Then make it fall.
Yeah, well, I hope they do. Because
then if he's the one, so he's the one. First of all, this is his last term, so
he might do it right at the very end. Just say, "Hey guys,
aliens are real."
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Biden is a lizard.
Yeah, maybe that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, you got another one?
Yes.
We only got time for one more.
We'll speed these two up.
Okay.
So this one is: can comedy still be funny without offending anyone?
It depends what you mean. Now, it can, absolutely can, and you can have jokes that are called blue jokes are the offensive jokes. You can have a family-friendly show, absolutely, but offensive comedy is more for the comedian because you want to. There's the risk that is involved. The problem is that my perception of what is offensive is not necessarily your perception of what is offensive.
Mm-hmm.
But as a comedian, what is exciting is to be on the line, and I think you could make jokes of anything. I have no problem with any kind of joke, pedophile joke, rape joke, any kind, as long as it is funny and smart enough. It's not that there's jokes that you shouldn't be doing, but if a joke doesn't work, it's because it wasn't funny enough. He wasn't smart enough. If you offend somebody, it's because you need to work on your craft more.
Interesting.
So these days, you're telling funny jokes and you hear one person getting offended. You're like, come on.
I mean,
They're jokes. They're jokes.
True, but also it depends how many people get offended as well. Like, there's some jokes that are not offensive at all, but people like to get offended because they like the attention they receive once they become offended.
What's the guy, the comedian that got in trouble for people watch him jerk off? What's his name?
Oh, Louis C.K.
Louis C.K. One of my favorites, funniest guy.
He's a genius.
But
he got cancelled for no reason. Let's talk about Louis C.K. You know why he got cancelled?
Yeah. He
jerked off in front of women after he asked them. They said yes. What?
Yeah.
Like, what more do you want him to do? I loved Dave Chappelle take on it. Dave Chappelle made a joke about it, which I found. And he talked about this, and it was like one of these women that was started to do the Me Too against Louis C.K. He did that to her on the phone. And it was like, bitch, hang up. Like you don't have to be there, you know?
That really, it was on the phone?
Yeah, what was on the phone? He said, hey, we're on the phone. Can I masturbate while I talk to you? And she was like, yeah, go ahead.
And then they're
and then they cancel him.
They say, oh, because they felt like they had to say yes because he's so famous.
Yeah, but then he cannot get pussy. Like, that's who he is. He is famous. Also, he never even used the girl he had sex with to bring him up to popularity. By that perspective, if you're rich, you cannot have girls because that would you with money.
Yep.
If you're famous, you cannot because you're famous. If you're power, then that's why the population is declining. Nobody can have sex then. Only if you're broke.
No one's going to want to become a musician or like a guitarist. Half the guys that became rock stars did it because they wanted to get pussy.
That's also the thing with Westin. You know? It's like if let's be, this is unpopular, but of course, if you get harassed, that's different. But if I'm a girl who goes on, you know that you can say no, right? If he doesn't give you the option of saying no, absolutely, he should be jailed, everything. But many girls know what they're getting into and they do it because they want the reward.
Yeah.
You know, I have a friend, he has a lot of money, he has a lot of girls around him. I am 100% sure if he was broke, he wouldn't have that many girls. They know it. They play the game. Actually, I have a friend. He wasn't a serious relationship, but he cheated on a girl. And the girl was like, it's okay. If you buy me a Louis Vuitton bag, I will forgive you. Once you say that to the man, then, well, you put yourself in the position of you consider yourself a prostitute then.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you ask money in exchange for sex, then it's you. It's not he that objectify you. You objectify yourself.
Yeah.
100%.
And it's the same with men, you know. That guy also has so many friends around him. Why? Because they know that every time we go to the club, he plays for bottles. He's one of my best friends. Never asked him money, but things happen. You know?
Mm-hmm.
We all have to be honest with ourselves.
Definitely.
Like, you are not Italian. Like, be honest with yourself. Okay, since we
my mom's gonna be watching this going, I don't like that guy.
Since we were talking about anti-woke, I'm working on a joke, so this is not finished, but this is one of the problems that I have. This is the premise I had, is people like you know, that ask me, where are you from? Italy. I have to say I'm Italian. I cannot say I'm from... I have to say I'm from Italy. I cannot say I'm Italian because of American people. Yeah. Because I'm Italian, then you say me too, and then I get excited. I start speaking Italian to you. I have no idea what I'm saying. And I say, no, I'm from New Jersey. And so the best way to explain it to you, since you're anti-woke, you voted for Trump, is this. Just because your grandma was from Italy, it doesn't make you Italian. Just like only because your grandma had a vagina, it doesn't make you a woman. It's the same thing for me.
Okay. For you.
Plus, American culture and Italian-American culture is completely different.
Oh,
I'm 100% American, but...
Then don't say you're... Like, in Italy, we have bruschetta. In America, you have garlic bread. It's not the same.
We don't do garlic bread.
No, it doesn't exist in Italy.
Yeah,
in Italy,
we
we
don't do
carbonara.
we
have
don't-
chicken Alfredo. If you put chicken in pasta in Italy, they will kill you.
We don't do this stuff.
In Italy,
But I grew up southern.
but also
Italian,
like
which is
in
a little
Italy at
different.
school, we play how you call it, soccer.
Yeah.
In American school, you shoot each other. It's a different culture. It's a different culture. All right. I'm not gonna get invited back.
We'll agree to disagree.
Well, the
on
time
some
is
of
up.
this.
Fuck off.
Well, she's got one more.
One more. Okay, sorry. I promise to be quick.
Okay, so
Because I know where this one's going. You
yeah,
do this.
yeah.
The question.
So, what does freedom mean to you?
Because our podcast is all about freedom living.
Oh, okay, because I thought you were from the American point of view. We are the only one with freedom.
No,
I was about to walk out now.
it's supposed to, because a lot of people come here to Bali for some sort of freedom living, and that's what we are kind of about. That's why I got into Bitcoin and whatnot, and just want to know what that means to you.
That's a good question. I believe the freedom is having the choice to do things that you don't want to do, but for the reason you want to do them. For example, I came initially to Bali to retire. I'm now working way more than I was in Italy. But the reason why I'm doing it is because of my son and my wife. So even though I do things on the daily that I wouldn't want to do, I do them for the right reason, and I can choose the reason I do them for. That's what freedom is.
Good answer.
Great answer.
Okay. So with that, where can people catch you as far as when you're performing? Not next, because this will be...
Yeah, so Instagram, Chris Giacobbe Comedy. Do you know how to spell it? No, because you're not Italian.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I do shows all around. They're always sold out anyway. I don't know. No, I'm joking.
No, but yeah,
just
on Instagram,
I
find
do-
out your shows. When they're-
Okay, no, I have something to plug. We have a new... we open a new lounge. It's called the Nectar Lounge. It's here in Jalan St. Paul. I can bring you after we finished.
Nice.
We are opening the first 100% entertainment venue in Bali here in Jalan St. Paul, 5,000 square meters. It's going to be called Fun Factory. It's going to have go-kart, bowling, shooting range, laser tag, skating, arcade, VR is going to be the best place in Bali. Hopefully, we open before the end of the year. So come say hi. It's going to be great. Watch the Bali Bytes. Considering he's American, he's actually a cool guy, and she's fantastic. And thank you so much for having me.
And thanks for showing up.
Thank you.
We'll catch you all next time.
Ciao, ciao.